Hey guys, Buzz Glover here. One of the things that a lot of my aspiring students have trouble with is trying to understand that when they add in their commission into a deal, they automatically think that they raise the rate from their funding source by that amount. And an example of this would be if you are going out and doing a $100,000 piece of equipment, and you are getting a 5% rate from the bank that you're funding it through, and now you have to add in your commission. Let's say you want to add 5% to that deal. A lot of new brokers will automatically think, okay, the funding source is charging me 5%. I'm taking a 5% commission, so I'm going to add those two together, and it's going to be a 10% total rate to the customer. But that's not what happens at all. So what I did is I thought I'd do a quick video to show you how I use a financial calculator to show you what the effective rate is, which isn't nearly 10%. The effective rate to the end user, to the borrower, ends up being much less. So I'm going to go up on my screen here, and you can see I downloaded this. In the old days, I used to use this handheld 17B2 HP. In some of my other videos, I'm just so used to using it because I guess, old school in some respects. But I was able to locate not only on my phone, but on my desktop computer that they have this 10B2 financial calculator, which works fine. It's much less expensive. I think I just looked on the Apple or on the Google Play Store for an Android. I think it's $6. I think for this desktop version, I might have paid $10 for it. So, but if you're getting into the business, you're going to need one of these financial calculators. They're very simple to use, and when you're in this business, you're going to use the same calculation over and over again. And once you learn that one calculation, it becomes very easy. But what I have is I've opened up the desktop version of this calculator. I have. And what you want to look at when you look at this calculator, there's only 5 things you need to know to run a calculation for a monthly payment. So you're going to get a customer in, and you want to be able to offer a monthly payment that includes your commission, and let them know what in effect your proposal is to them for financing their transaction, whether it's equipment, commercial real estate, whatever it is. You use this top row, and I'll tell you what each one of these symbols means in the top row. N means the term. How long? What's the length of the term of the loan? The interest rate is what the funding source is either going to charge you, or what the effective rate is going to be after you add in your commission, and that's what I'm showing you in this video. The present value is the amount of the loan. PV up here stands for the amount of the loan. The PMT is typically what you're solving for. It's going to tell you what the monthly payment. And then this last one is FV, stands for future value. And typically that's going to be 0. The only way that you would ever put a value inside the future value is if there's a balloon payment. And in equipment leasing, sometimes on a fair market value lease, there will be what they call a residual assumption. And basically that's saying, hey, we're going to give you a fair market value rate on this equipment, but at the end of the lease, you don't own it, and we're just going to, what they do, they call it a residual assumption. So they might say, okay, we're going to make an assumption that this equipment at the end of 60 months is going to be worth 20% of what we're paying for it today. And that's where you would use that future value. But as a beginner, just to learn how to use this financial calculator, I would say always put 0 in future value. So let's run the example and show you what I'm talking about, how you effectively change a customer's rate by adding in your commission. So how you use this calculator is all input. The first thing we'll do is I'm going to take a term of 60 months. So I'll put 60, and I'll put it in N. And you can see that it enters up here. And you're seeing my previous exercise here. Let's just say the bank is charging you 5%. The funding source that you're taking this deal to is charging you 5%. You're going to put 5, and you're going to put it up at interest per year. And let's just say the deal is a $100,000 deal. Now, one thing you'll notice is that when I put in the 100,000, I'm going to hit this change sign, they call change sign, to make it negative, because that's what the bank is paying out to the equipment dealer and to you as your commission. I don't have my commission included in this yet, but that's kind of what I'm showing you in this exercise. But I'm going to run it without your commission, so I'm going to put change sign by hitting this plus minus, and then hit present value, and it says that, okay, $100,000 is the amount of the loan in this part of the example. As mentioned, I'm going to put 0 for future value, and now I'm just going to solve whatever one of those 5 variables that you leave empty and you solve for. That's what the calculator's calculating for you. So I hit payment. So right now, my customer's payment without my commission in it is $1,879.29. Okay? Pretty simple, but I haven't made a commission yet. So now what I want to do is see what the effective rate is to my customer after I add in my commission. And once again, it's not, if I'm adding in 5%, it's not going to raise the rate to 10%. What you want to do on a $100,000 deal, you want to put in, add in your commission into the present value, $105,000, change sign, present value. And now I'm going to solve again for the payment. And by adding in my commission, I effectively added just under $100 to the monthly payment for this customer. So now their payment with my commission included is $1,973.26. Now what I want to do, and I'm showing you this just to show you that you're not making the rate crazy high and you can still compete. I'm going to go back and leave the payment at the new higher payment amount with my commission included, but I'm going to take the present value back to the original amount, $100,000, change sign, present value. And now when I solve for the interest rate, it's going to tell me what the effective interest rate is for that customer. So I solve it, and you can see that now that rate that the customer would have got directly from the bank went from 5% to 7.10%. So you didn't really raise it, double it. You just raised it by 2.1%, and you made your $5,000 commission. So hopefully you understand that. I think as a new aspiring broker, you'd want to go ahead, download the calculator if you haven't done that already, and then just fool around with these 5 different areas, and you can see that you could, the other way you could use this is if you knew a competitive quote, you knew what the payment was in the term, and you knew the, in future value, make the assumption that it's 0, then you could solve for what interest rate they're charging. So if you know the payment and you know the amount that they're funding and you know the term, you can just go ahead and figure out what a competitive interest rate that you're up against as well. So whatever of those 5 items, term, interest rate, present value, payment, and future value, whichever one that you leave blank at the very end and you solve for, that's what the calculator does for you. So hope that helps you out in your journey. I'd love to have you along for the ride in my mastermind course. So check it out below, and hopefully this helped you in your business. Appreciate it.